You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 6th of June. CBI takes over Odisha triple train crash probe. Government employees in POK demand equal pay, allege discrimination. And Oli slams Nepal PM Dahal for stance during India visit. And now for all the details. A team of the Central Bureau of Investigation reached Balasore in India's Odisha on Tuesday to examine the site where two passenger trains and a goods train collided, causing one of the most devastating train accidents in the country. The official investigation into the rail crash began on Monday after preliminary findings pointing to signal failure as the likely cause for the collision that killed at least 275 people and injured nearly 1,200.
They work silently और वो अपना काम कर रहे हैं. अलग-अलग लोकेशंस पे लोग हैं जहाँ CRS, CBI सब लोग काम कर रहे हैं. They are collecting the evidences.
The deadly crash has left families of the victims shattered. 20-year-old Vijay Lakshmi, who lost her husband, now ponders life as she waits to complete formalities before receiving compensation money. The Indian Railways is paying 10 lakh rupees as compensation to the families of the deceased. But Vijay Lakshmi's father-in-law says money would not bring back his dead son.
क्या चल रहा है बेटा को जब हो रहा है रुपया कटना क्या रुपया तो आज है कल खर्चा हो जाएगा सब लेकिन मेरा डान हाथ कट गया ऐसा चिंता में जो महीना डेढ़ महीना का बच्चा है उसका चिंता भी मेरे को बहुत है.
And characterizing India as a vibrant democracy, a top US official, John Kirby, on Monday rejected implicit criticism about the health of India's democracy under PM Modi in the context of his visit to the US later this month. Kirby enlisted several reasons why India matters for the United States and said President Joe Biden is looking forward for talks with PM Modi to deepen their partnership and friendship.
I could go on and on and on. There's innumerable reasons why India certainly matters, not just bilaterally between the two of our nations, but multilaterally. India is a vibrant democracy. Anybody that happens to go to New Delhi can see that for themselves.
Early on Monday, India and the US established a roadmap for defense industry cooperation after a ministerial meet in New Delhi. Washington is working to deepen ties with India as a key counterweight to China's dominance in the region. Well, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that he is hopeful of finalizing the bailout deal with IMF by this month. In his comments to a Turkish news agency, Sharif said Pakistan has completed all prior actions needed to unlock the $1.1 billion IMF funding. The South Asian nation is reeling from an economic crisis, with inflation surging to 37.97% in May, the highest in the region. Sharif's government has raised energy tariffs and scaled back subsidies in an attempt to meet conditions for the critical IMF funding. Pakistan is also set to announce its federal budget on June 9th. Moving on, a series of protests are being held by government employees in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir recently to demand equal pay and allowances at par with their counterparts in Pakistan. Highlighting exploitation, they blame the authorities have kept on delaying the process. Secretariat employees in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have been holding a series of protests recently to demand equal pay and allowances at par with their counterparts in Pakistan. The protesters alleged discrimination and said they are being deprived of employee benefits despite serving for several years. They said they are being told there is no budget for them, while the same hike has been given to employees in Pakistan.
मुतालबा है सेक्रेटरीट पहला मुतालबा है सेक्रेटरीट अलाउंस जो है 100% ये जनवरी से पाकिस्तान में लोगों को मुलाजमीन को मिल रहा है जबकि यहाँ ब्यूरोक्रेसी की हटदर्मी की वजह से ये लोग अभी तक अपने इस हक से महरूम हैं 100% सेक्रेटरीट अलाउंस से और उसके अलावा अर्जी मुलाजमीन की कन्फर्मेशन का मामला है.
इस वक्त 400 गुना महंगाई बढ़ चुकी है. अद्वियात की कीमतों पर टैक्स आए रोज़ लगे जा रहे हैं और तमाम सरफुदा अशिया जो हैं तमाम रोज़मर्रा की खरीदारी जो है उसमें 100 गुना से ज़्यादा इजाफा हो चुका है और मुलाजमीन की वही तनख्वाहें एक नायब कासर जिसकी 20,000 25-30,000 तनख्वाह है वो इस महंगाई के दौर में किस तरह गुजारा करेगा.
People working in different government departments accuse that their long-due salary hike and promotions often meet a bureaucratic blockade at the behest of the political leadership of Pakistan. And the Norwegian Refugee Council has resumed operations in Afghanistan's Kandahar. Its chief, Jan Egeland, has said on Twitter a month after Taliban leaders signaled a willingness to allow the aid agency's female staff to resume work. Taliban authorities have issued several orders barring Afghan female NGO and UN workers, which aid agencies have warned are hampering delivery of much-needed assistance. Meanwhile, the UN has revised the budget for Afghanistan's aid plan to $3.2 billion for 2023, down from the $4.6 billion earlier. Officials had earlier warned potential decline in funding due to the Taliban restrictions. Afghanistan remains one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, the UN said, with more than two-thirds of the population in need of assistance. And Nepal's opposition CBI-UML party leader KP Sharma Oli on Monday lambasted PM Pushpa Kamal Dahal over his recent visit to India. He also objected to the Prime Minister's daughter being present in the meeting with Indian leaders. Questioning the land swap suggestion by Dahal, the opposition leader said the issue has been raised from a very weak position, which will only abandon their claim over certain territories. Nepal's ties with India had strained during Oli's tenure in 2020 after Kathmandu published a political map that showed 3 Indian territories as part of the Himalayan country. And after many decades, Sringeri Shankaracharya performed Vedic rituals for the consecration, the idol of the goddess, at the newly constructed Sharda temple near the border in India's Jammu and Kashmir. The ritual also witnessed participation of a large number of devotees and locals of the area. The reconstructed temple was inaugurated recently by Home Minister Amit Shah. The ancient temple site is a symbol of faith for the Kashmiri Pandit community. They have been continuously requesting both India and Pakistan to start a pilgrimage to Sharda Peeth situated in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
टीटवाल का हमारा बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण बात ये है कि यहाँ पे ये शारदा जो है हमारा मंदिर हुआ करता था पहले भी, ये बड़ा ऐतिहासिक है, हिस्टोरिकल बात है कि रिक्लेम कैसे हेरिटेज करी गई और यहाँ पे वो मंदिर बनाया गया जिसकी मूर्ति की आज प्राण प्रतिष्ठा थी.
Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow.